work with artists from all around the world, like France, Belgium, the US, the Philippines. So it's like our artists are quite international. So when you come to shows, it's a chance to like actually connect with people and see how your work is being received.
This is one of our most popular books, so this is actually a reprint of it. But we made a new design, new cover and everything with gold foil, a biological, evolutionary science fiction comics. And she's an amazing artist.
It's ecological sci-fi.
We are going to be at LCAF and in East London at TCAF in Toronto in a few weeks. And then we have plans for, I think, at least 6 more books this year.
I discovered so many amazing new artists on my visit, but this next gentleman's work I was well familiar with. He's done books with Neil Gaiman, the Rolling Stones, John Cale, Heston Blumenthal, the stamps for the Royal Postal Service, tons of CD covers, and his accomplishments go on and on, so it was really a great honor for me to sit down with Dave McKean.
Yeah, I work full-time as an illustrator, an artist, designer, photographer, writer, composer, musician, filmmaker, director, editor. So basically anything...
A Renaissance man.
Creativo is a nice Italian word. If a project offers me the chance to learn how to do something, like direct actors or edit film or write a symphonic piece of orchestral music, fantastic. I'd love to learn to do it.
You're doing a lot of festivals around Europe?
No, I've got a little run of festivals, Bari and Kosovo and Munich and a couple of others. But I have a book called Black Dog, which is out now in Italian, but has been out in England for a while, and French and various other countries. But it's also a performance piece. We did it at the Tate Gallery in London, and we did it at the Somme Memorial Ceremony. The book and the piece is about the First World War. It's about an English artist called Paul Nash, who's not really well known outside of England, but is very important in England. My publisher here in Italy for this book is Inchiostro, Edizioni Inchiostro. And they've been fantastically supportive. We did a lovely art book with lots of images, drawings and paintings and illustrations and all sorts of things from over the years for all kinds of projects. And then Black Dog is my new book out. They're very keen to publish here, so that's the new one. And I'm very happy with them. Hopefully we'll do some more books in the future. What I usually end up doing is signing for a few hours every day, and if anybody wants to chat, that's great. Being a typical English person, my language skills are zero, so unless they can speak a bit of English, we have to communicate with sign language. This is my second time at the festival in this location, which is not really Naples. I mean, we're in the boondocks here. I don't know where we are. But it used to be right in the town, and that was fantastic. And I always make a point of going to the town. Naples is bonkers.
I think so too.
The driving is appalling. The parking is just breaks all the known rules, including some rules of physics, I think. But it is one of those cities that has an extraordinary energy to it. Comics were my first love as a kid. I've always drawn comics. I've spent the odd year or 2 years away from comics doing other things, making a film or making theatre or doing other things, but I always end up coming back to comics. There's something about the physicality of it, the smell of it, the bounce of light off the page. I'll never tire of that. However, I think if you want to see the future of comics, or certainly a future of comics, the work that's being done online is sometimes extraordinary. And offers a whole new way of speaking directly to your audience. So you don't need a publisher, you don't need those gatekeepers. I love telling stories, and I love making images and drawing and exploring ways of telling stories, different unusual ways of telling stories. And it's a little harder to do that in film because it's very expensive. Cinema is loud and kinetic and actually moves. and you get a bunch of people in a room and they can all laugh and cry and scream at the same time. Comics actually are quite an introverted medium. You hear the voices in your head. There is no motion or movement. You have to conjure it in your own mind. I'm providing half that dialogue, and I'm imagining one other person sitting alone at home or wherever, reading my words, looking at my images, and it's a direct dialogue.
So that's a necessary part of the process, I guess.
That seems to me what it's essentially about. People love comics because of what's not there and because of what they're supplying to the experience. Maybe unlike a film, and obviously people love films, but films are often very passive. You know, they
fill all the blanks
they
for
give you everything. I think lots of people think of maybe the late 30s and 40s as the golden age of comics. I think this is the golden age. I've never seen more extraordinary books being published from all over the world. That's important. Lots of voices from all over the world, in every conceivable style, written in every conceivable style. Serious book publishers putting together graphic novel lines. I started 30 years ago, and honestly, it was a little easier to make a splash because there just wasn't that much around. Now, for anybody starting out, it's really tough to make an impression because there's such a lot of books out there, but it's so welcoming. The world is very much ready for your work if you're good, as in any medium.
Sure.
The online component is completely new since I started and has changed everything utterly. And browsing is not the same as walking into a shop being surrounded by images, typefaces, words, names, and something just catching you out of the corner of your eye and attracting you and saying, I belong to you. You know, I don't really get that experience online, and I really miss that. Well, I work with a chef.
Oh,
I work
on books?
On books and murals and packaging and actually designing the menu, because the menu at the restaurant has a narrative component to it. The restaurant is called the Fat Duck. It has 3 Michelin stars, and the chef is Heston Blumenthal.
Splendido, is that about it? Thank you once again for tubing in. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, share my videos. All the full interviews are available on this channel. I very much enjoyed my time at the massive Comic-Con Napoli and also at the underground UE Festival in Napoli. It was very interesting to see different ways of expressing creativity side by side. So if you haven't seen that video, check that out. Always, Splendidos, stay splendid.
Yes, of course. We are big fans of Star Wars. Oh, I don't know. I like all of them. Maybe the oldest.
Our contacts here on our card, and you can look for us online and keep up to date with our books and stuff.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you can find our website on Tumblr. You can type Sbucciaginocchi, SBUCCIAGINOCCH.
Pialstudio.com. That's our website and our web shop.
The magazine and the collective is Brace in Italian, but you can read it also in English, and it's Brace, and it has his meaning.